Look at that moon. Let's see, zoom in here while I wait, see if anybody comes in. Whew. It's kind of misty and like foggy here tonight. I'm in Northeast PA. And let's see, it is around 10 p.m. Eastern right now. Sunday, May 23rd, 2021. And it's also a 555 portal day, as was yesterday. Hello. Can't see me yet, I'm outside. It's dark, but I set up some candles here, citronella, and my roommate is getting his telescope at the moment to look at the moon. Sorry, not sorry, but it's my current theme song. People Pleaser by Korn from the album Korn, Remember Who You Are. Hey, okay, so hi, I see Bridget and Michael. Hi, guys. So I'm just listening to this song while I wait to see if anybody joins, which both of you have. Thank you, guys. I love you. And this is Bring Your Topic Night. I have a feeling this conversation is going to end up going ET as well, which I hope it does. I have an actual life experience to talk about in that respect. So that could be a possible topic. Let me know what you think. Do you believe that aliens exist? If so, why? If not, why? Do you have any experiences to justify any claims? Bring it! Bring it, bring it, bring it! Ah! Difference between spirit and ether. Well, either or. Ether. I'm just teasing you. That's the Capricorn analyst. You can thank the Capricorn. That wasn't me. It was my Capricorn who did that. Let's see. I think that, well, I looked into that some time ago. And I connected it with why they would call it the ethereal realm. There's an astral realm, physical, non-physical, causal, ethereal. So ethereal to me would be of the ethers, whether that is AETHER or ETHER. They're both one and the same. It is an element, and it's found throughout the entire universe. Good question. Love it. You tell me. I'm still trying to find out. I'm still trying to find out if I even have one, to be quite honest. I went through, I'll start the topic off here. Hi, my pup. Oh, my pup came to visit me. My roommate's dog. He's a big baby. Pipple, but a big baby. My baby! So, anyways, let me, I questioned, like, about was it a month ago? Maybe 2. I don't know. I can barely keep track of time anymore. Like, I was like, oh my God, could this really be my life? Like, all these things, and do I really have a soul, or am I just like some AI robot? Like Siri or Alexa or Cortana. I was like, I could be a program, like Avatar in the Matrix. So that kind of made sense. And then I was like, well, what is the soul then? We've got consciousness, we've got self-awareness, conscious awareness, and a subconscious. Yes, B, I do believe there's life everywhere. Me too, 100%. In this multiverse. Except for Washington, D.C. That was a good one. Anyways, this universe is made up of just galaxies and planetary bottoms or planetary bodies and consciousness permeates the entire universe.
For a rub down.
No. Soul, would that be the gift of immortality? Like if you go back to Egyptian times, the underworld, halls of Amenti, the 7 judges, weighing. Maybe a soul is gifted upon certain awareness or enlightenment over time throughout evolution. I do believe that the planetary bodies, the celestials themselves, are conscious. They're higher dimensional versions of us. And I think of human beings on planet Earth, in our solar system, in our galaxy, and then the entire universe, which is infinite and ever expanding. It's unfathomable to even presume as a human being to think that anyone can even begin to aspire to, hope to figure out the workings of the universe, aka God, and try to dismantle everything natural and organic, which keeps the natural order and balance in the cosmos, in the universe. You can ask Saturn about that. Thanks, Big Papa. I feel like I had a dream or a remembrance in a vision, in a meditation vision, where I saw myself as an AI supercomputer. And I was created in a lab. I think I touched on this subject a couple months ago in a video about technicians and lab coats and stuff. And it was so real and profound to me, like, I actually got emotional from it, and that usually doesn't happen. I can separate myself in a, like, if I'm doing a hypnotherapy session, a past life regression, let's say, or something like that, and I'm delving into other aspects of myself, or times, or places, or events, or remote viewing, or astral traveling, or whatever you want to call it, and seeing things, I can differentiate like my reality in the now as, you know, different than those. And this one was at some point when robotics and machinery had really taken off, and computing. And I just want to say, disclaimer. Thanks, B. You're real to me and I love you very much. Always. Things going from organic and natural to artificial and machine. And
that chip in my head, I keep forgetting short term.
yes.
Yeah. But
these things, how rapidly they're taking off. What I would like to say is, disclaimer, anything that the public, which is you and me, we are made aware of as far as advancements in technology and weaponry and things like that, we are the last to know, and it is far behind in time. So the things that we are seeing as new are just being released to the public, but they've been in testing, in operation, in manufacture, in design, for a long time. And there are groups out there who want to make these races of super soldiers. And put machine part, basically making cyborgs, which, like Elon Musk already said, now whether people love him or hate him, it doesn't matter. He said this statement, and I agree with it, that people are today, in it's 2021 now, essentially cyborgs. Everyone's attached to a cell phone. That is a device which measures biorhythms, records your voice, has your GPS tracking of where you go, knows what kind of music you like, knows what movies you're interested in, knows what kind of sex things you like based on the porn you watch, knows your family, your friends, your connections, audio, visual, age progression. Now they've got intuitive, so they can kind of get to know a person and their personality, and based on what they like and don't like, and track these things to basically take that person's personality, connections, life experiences, emotions, vital signs, medical records, because medical records are all digital now too, and an MRN is your medical record number. That's all digitalized. So digital copies to upload into probably cryo-stored human tissue bodies to create clones and essentially super soldiers. Max Spears was a young man who was my age. He was born the same year as me. Spirit of 76. And he's dead now. And he told about the program, the bases on Mars, everything. And when I first started watching his interviews, I kept things that I knew secret my whole life. I didn't even tell my family. And this guy, who was British, who I had never seen before, knew these things. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch his interviews and see what he says. And sure enough, how could I have known these things too? And jump rooms, and, you know, like you watch shows. I'm a big nerd, we all know. So I loved Star Trek, Star Wars, and you take inspiration for those shows and movies, where did the inspiration come from? People need to really start understanding that Hollywood is smoke and mirrors, but shows you actually what is. And 2020 was the year of disclosure and exposure. And when I started my YouTube channel, I said that 2020 was going to be that year where everything's coming out. And also about this being a time of collapse in the world, destruction of old things and ways, the quote-unquote end times. And it's also the end of an age, the Earth's age as well as the Sun's age. And when people put all of these puzzle pieces together, it forms a big picture of what's going on in the world, as we see now with the hostility in the Middle East, the asteroids and comets that are incoming, the total propaganda and usage of imagery and symbolism and subliminal messaging to turn everything and everyone that once was organic and natural into artificial.
It's called transhumanism.
Yes, it's exactly right. My friend Paul just said it's called transhumanism, and he's exactly right. And that's the agenda. I feel so ashamed knowing that my family fought for our freedoms on so many levels, from Nazi Germany to Vietnam, and I'm
Korea.
proud of my family.
For the career. My dad.
Thanks for your dad's service.
Yeah, my dad would roll in his grave.
Exactly. And, you know, our country is run by these buffoons anymore. It's a mockery, and
Rick, I have.
it's almost, I'm ashamed. Like if I was to introduce myself today with the way my country is run and what it values, I would be ashamed to call myself an American anymore. And this is coming from the daughter of a Vietnam veteran, both grandfathers in World War II, and a grandmother who fled Nazi Germany. My family knows how to fight for what's right. And I do it even when I stand alone, and that's what Martin Luther King said, do the right thing even if you stand alone. So I've had this channel for over 2 years, speaking the truth on these things, although not wanting to, because you get a lot of backlash and persecution and hate and bullying and ostracizing, as we all know from Jen's homeless journey over the last 2 years. It's like me against the world, I felt like, and sometimes rightly so. So I just knew that when I was called to start my channel, that there was truth to be shared, because this world had turned very, very deceitful and illusory. And anything good, virtuous, righteous, wholesome, pure is steadily, I can't even say slowly but surely, steadily, rapidly being corrupted in every way, shape, and form you can possibly fathom. From trying to steal human beings' consciousness and upload it to make their super soldiers. Oh, back to that story. So his name is Max Spears, if anyone would like to look his story up. He's an angel in my opinion. And he went through a lot, especially when he started speaking out, because he, as I am, as some of you are, targeted individuals. That'll be probably a topic for another day, because mine's pretty heavy on that, and I get very emotional when I talk about it. So it's something that I'd like to prepare a little bit for. But, you know, I was born in 76 during a blizzard. 12/26, day after Christmas, at 5:55 p.m. And every time I say that, I gotta give it up to my boy, Corey Taylor from Slipknot, if you're 555. I love that man. The great big mouth. Anyways, I digress. I don't know. I was raised in religion. I was raised Roman Catholic. My Nana took my sister and me to church every Sunday. I had CCD classes on Wednesday nights to get my communion and all that. And on top of that, from 1st to 8th grade, I went to a private Christian school run by a Southern Baptist church. So that was like memorizing Bible verses and chapel on Tuesday, and I was like skirts and dresses only. We weren't allowed to wear pants unless it was like 55 degrees or less. But seriously, that was the rule. A cocooned life in a bubble where my best friend grew up 2 houses down from me, and I hung out mostly with my Nana and aunts and uncles and cousins and grandma and my mom and dad. Well, not so much when I was younger, but as I got older, yeah, definitely. I was so sheltered from the ways of this world until I went to high school. When the stuff comes to the top, the scavengers pick it off. The world is cleansing. Exactly. And there's a verse in the book of Revelation. I'm not going to get biblical, but it says where the corpses are, that's where the vultures will gather. And that's right. I am personally affected by these agendas because I have 3 sons, ages 22, 19, and 16. Very much millennials, very much progressive, a Cancer, a Libra, and an Aqua. So, I mean, good eggs, you know? And as most of you know, my middle son did get the vaccine, and I'm still dealing with that. He and I have kind of let it go. We just don't discuss it at this point, except I ask him every time I see him, you know, is this happening? Are you having any symptoms? Are you feeling okay? Is this? Like, I can't help it. He knows, and he allows me to ask him those questions, and he answers them. So for 19, I'll take that. However, personally, as a mother, if anyone in this world thinks the wrath of God is bad, I would be hesitant for them ever to see the wrath of a mother for her child. So, My son, the 19-year-old who did get the vaccine, he's a Libra, so he's all about balance and what's fair and equal. And I can see, though, the effect that this transhumanism agenda is having on him with his choice in colors for his clothing, his hair even, because I was that teenager too. Only mine was goth back then. He's doing pastel colors. And I even straight up asked my son, I said, are you gay or any, like, my best friend in the whole world is gay. We grew up since we were 2 years old, 2 houses down from each other. And I don't see anything wrong with gay or lesbian people in same-sex relationships. I do think throughout all nature we can see that sometimes these anomalies occur where people will go against the grain, so to speak, or be the black sheep of society, or the outcasts or the misfits, square pegs, whatever. I'm one. Shit, that's the only reason I talk about it, is because I have the right to talk about these things. If there's something I haven't personally experienced, I will not speak on it like I know anything about it. I'll ask questions so that I can learn about it. So anyways, back to the super soldier thing. That's the agenda, is to make human / cyborg / AI robots / super soldiers. And also replicate humanity. Everyone trying to play God. Open dimensions and portals, travel through time, create worlds, create beings in that world and rule them. Well, what say if some of those created beings either developed consciousness and self-awareness over time and a soul, which would be the blueprint of your existence, and not just in this lifetime, here as a human, your entire soul's existence, however old that is or young it is. Thank you, B. And I'm honestly wondering, like, if there is a real corona, you know, not a whatever, just if it is, that some of us have like some kind of immunity or something. I've had 4 of those tests, COVID-19 tests, where they take a swab and they shove it down your nose. However, the very first time I had it done was in Wilkes-Barre. And that nurse shoved the swab so far down into my nostrils, I thought she was going to pierce my brain. Then I started hearing about things like that. You know, that's what they're trying to do. The part of the agenda is pushing that swab so far that these nanite particulates or fibers or whatever they are, travel into your brain. And then the other 3 tests that I had were all at the same place. It was a couple months ago when I went into the hospital when I was in Illinois. And I had 3 tests done in 1 week at the same hospital I was in. And the nurse, each time was a different nurse, very gentle, just swab, around the inside, making circular motions and then going a little farther back. Okay, no big deal. Big, humongous difference from the first nurse who was like shoving it like straight, instead of circular. That's one thing I noticed. So, I don't know. I thought, well, okay, maybe there's then something growing in my brain now. They tried with the Morgellons. My whole journey with that is literally documented. Video, written in my community. Like, there's no denying, there's no hallucinating or delusion, nothing when it came to that. Oh my God, that was, there's not even a word for the kind of hell and suffering that was / is. I never know if it's going to rear its ugly head again, or if these little tiny flare-ups I get every once in a while are going to just back into what it was at some points throughout it when I literally wanted to die. Like, I literally begged. Whew. So these are fibers trying to get in through hair follicles and oil glands and pores, and they're corkscrew shaped, so they wind in, embed in your skin, trying to what? Get into the brain? I don't know. Maybe it didn't work on me. Maybe they had to try going up through my nasal cavity. Maybe my freaking skull's just too thick. And all these people would be right about me all these years, huh? Well, anyways, that's what I think a soul is the remembrance, all the memory, all like the blueprint, the Akashic records of the universe. Your soul would be the Akashic records of you. Everything, every thought, every feeling, every memory, every smell, every taste, every action, every word, everything. And every place, every time. And as you gain experience, you gain knowledge, and then, of course, make better decisions and choices, and then I'm trying to take the advice my mom always gave me. She used to say, Jen, things always have a way of working out one way or another, even if it's not the way you expected it. I never really did believe her. I can be, but I'll tell you, when, like, I really do, like, I have to keep my anger in check when it comes to these things, because I do not like that side of myself. I've embraced it, confronted it, love it. It's part of me. It's who I am. I go hard for the ones I love. What can I say? But, like, I know I have no boundaries when it comes. So I have to keep myself in check. And that's part of balancing as a Capricorn, too, is balance is everything. Moderation is key in everything. Balance. I hope so. I'm still trying to figure out, like, an avenue I can have for me in this world. Like, I hate saying the terms like earn a living or make a living or earn an income, because what I do or want to do, I don't want money for it. It's not about money. But like in this world, you have to somehow... I've been looking up like where unincorporated land is that doesn't have government ruling over it that I could move to, and then they couldn't say shit if I put, you know, created my little yurt how I want it, and solar panels and hydroponics and my garden and my couple of goats and chickens and my treehouse observatory. Yep. I just want peaceful land. Something that can use all, like, made of hempcrete, not even concrete. Like, all sustainable. Near a fresh running water source. Preferably in the semi-tropical region. Or an easy mix where there would be mountains too, I guess. I don't know. I just can't, like, figure out how to make it in this world. I never could. Still can't. And it really aggravates me because I don't know what I could do, or I have all these ideas, but then, like, how do I bring them? And then, like, startup money, like food stamps only income here, you know, like, I just don't know. It seems, but I gotta say, for the last month or so, I really have to say, I've had this peace inside that even though, like, I'm technically, quote unquote, still homeless, like, my life's not anywhere near, like, no justice yet, no, you know, all these things that I've, like, set out to do, they're not accomplished, so I'm still in the middle of it. And I'm thankful for my friend. I've known Paul for 5 years. And when I was with my ex-boyfriend, we actually rented a room from him here, out of an ad that we found from an ad. And then we just became friends, and then I stayed here. Like, it's in my videos from 2019. I was staying here over the summer. And we've got, okay, on Wednesday, the 26th, we've got a total lunar eclipse. Full supermoon in Sagittarius, and it's a flower moon. Then I think Mercury goes retrograde on the 30th. I can't remember offhand, though. Saturn already went retro in Aqua, so I don't like it when, like, it's weird. It's almost like, imagine me, Capricorn, I'd be like daughter of Saturn, right? Like, Saturn's the patriarchal father figure, lesson teacher, be like Thoth with a student or Jesus with a student. And then when Saturn goes retrograde, I can feel like, well, the first word that came to my mind was abandonment, but I don't want to say abandonment, really. Like, vulnerability would be better. That, like, daughter without her dad, you know, like that kind of feeling. It's weird, I know, but That's just how I feel. And Mercury retrograde always screws with me. And since I'm a Capricorn and Saturn's my ruling planet, the moon is a detriment in my chart. And I have a very magical Pisces moon. And we've got a lot of Neptune energy right now. I got so much Neptune energy today. It's just magic, magic, magic. And that would correlate with the ethers. Even like I'm listening to Korn, like when am I not, right? Still a freaking over a quarter of a century later. And that goes along with what I was just about to say. The bands that I listened to because I resonated with them, being like a non-conforming member of Generation X, Misfits, freaks, and weirdos. Like, even the names of the bands. Rage Against the Machine. System of a Down. Like, come on, people. Linkin Park. And then if people like, I know from my generation, anyone around my age has most likely heard the music of Korn or Slipknot or Linkin Park or System of a Down or Rage Against the Machine. And knows that they're speaking out, speaking the truth about corruption, whether that's in politics or wars in other countries or anything. They're speaking a message, sharing the gospel, because that's what sharing the gospel is. A message of truth and peace, sovereignty, liberty, independence. Good thing I'm a bicentennial baby. And I have a lot of weird things in my astrology too, like I can't figure them all out yet, and I obviously can't afford to pay anybody. So, but what I like, here's one. I'm a Capricorn sun, Cancer rising. So like think Tropic of Cancer, the equator, Tropic of Capricorn. My oldest son is a Cancer rising. A Cancer sun, Capricorn rising. Complete opposite. And we both have Pisces moons. Yep. He was born July 13th. I was born December 26th. Exactly half. He was my firstborn. I had him at 22. His wife had my first granddaughter when he is now 22. He is my first, and he had his first. Same age. I don't know. I just like... I love individuality. I'm all about that. Being unique, different, embracing differences, valuing differences, appreciating differences. I love that. I'm all about that. But I too, I've also wanted to find somewhere where I fit in. It's a futile effort. I just, I don't. I try so hard. God knows I do. Even when for the most part, the people that I have been around up until recently have been not friends of mine, just acquaintances, you know, that I've met along the way. But because of, I don't know because of what, but just not people I resonate with. I don't know any other way to say it. And I don't want to sound mean either, because I'm not judgmental. I get along with anybody and everybody. Facts. And I love people, each and every one, for who they are, but can't I tell the truth and say there's some people I resonate with and some people I don't? And that not be an offensive thing? I hope so, because I just said it. I don't know. Anyways, so I am going to end this, I think. Thank you for being here. And how about the next live stream we talk about intergalactic races of beings?